The Appellate Division First Department is now in session. Good morning on this beautiful, cold but sunny day. Ms. Guerrero, please proceed.
May it please the court, good morning. I, Veronica Guerrero, counsel to this court's Committee on Character and Fitness, am honored to present 34 applicants to the court for admission to the bar. Each of these applicants has met all of the requirements necessary for admission to the New York State Bar. I am pleased to report that the committee has examined the records of each and every candidate here today. Accordingly, and on behalf of the committee, I certify that each applicant here this morning does possess the requisite character and fitness to merit admission to the bar of the state of New York. Therefore, I do hereby move for their admission.
Thank you, Ms. Guerrero. And please, on behalf of this court, thank the members of the committee who gave of their personal time to do this service for the court in order that we continue to admit new members to the bar. That being said, it is the tradition of this court to dispense with motions rather quickly, typically within 2 weeks, but knowing that this group would be quite anxious that the court grant this motion most expeditiously, my colleagues have given me permission to do just that. The motion is granted.
Thank you.
The clerk of the court, Susana Rojas, will now administer the oath of office. Good morning, Ms. Rojas.
Good morning, Justice Mansonet Daniels. Good morning, candidates. I will administer the oath in the form of a question. At the end, I will ask you to unmute your microphones and respond by saying "I do" if you agree with the oath. At this point, I ask everyone to please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Attorney and Counselor at Law to the best of your ability? Please unmute your mics and respond by saying "I do."
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Congratulations, attorneys. You may lower your right hand and please mute your microphones. Thank you.
I'm going to ask my colleagues to unmute their mics so that we can give you all a round of applause. It is the tradition of this court that one of our members gives a welcoming remarks to the newly admitted attorneys, and this morning that pleasure falls to me. This day and ceremony, I assure you, will fade into memory in short order. Therefore, it is vitally important that each of you try to take a moment, be still, so that you might take in the enormity of this day. Savor it. After all, you've earned it. Each of you have much to be proud of. You have worked hard, dedicated yourselves, and made the necessary sacrifices to complete the rigors of a law school education. And know that we join your family and friends in celebrating you. Incidentally, we understand that in life, personal triumphs are seldomly accomplished alone. Accordingly, I too congratulate your parents, friends, significant others, and all who helped and supported you along the way, as they too are worthy of recognition on this day. 30 years ago or so, I sat where you are today, filled with excitement and great hope for the future. And while I do not recall which justice gave remarks or what he said, I do know it was a he, as our first woman to this court had yet not been named. As is obvious from today's bench, times have indeed changed. I do, however, remember the remarks were succinct. Thus, I promise to impart to you the same gift. As I understand, it is only I that now stands between you and the celebration that I hope awaits you. Today, you join the ranks of a noble profession, rich in history and tradition. The million jokes about lawyers notwithstanding, take those in stride as people find them hilarious until they actually need a lawyer. Over the ages, we have served our nation in a dual capacity, that of attorney and social engineer. As a result, throughout our nation's history, our work is inextricably woven into the social fabric of our American society. Attorneys have been at the forefront of every industry, field of practice, and social movement in this country. This would, of course, include the historical periods of the civil rights, women's rights, voting rights, and human rights movements of our nation. Indeed, today, in the aftermath of this tragic war, lawyers, I assure you, will be at the forefront of the extensive work that will lie ahead. Attorneys have and continue to utilize their law degrees to serve in all segments of society. We are legislators, corporate officers, directors, entrepreneurs, educators, CEOs, you name it, we do it. As a profession, we are called upon to grapple and solve some of the most difficult legal and social issues facing our society and our world. Most recently, our courts have guaranteed every citizen's right to love and marry the person of their choice. I suspect the social justice issues of our time, be they environmental, racial, and gender equity, to name just a few, will continue to wind their way through our system until they achieve a national resolution. Thus, counselors never forget the import of the work we toil in daily. Regardless of how you choose to use your law degree, remember always that the great power of your license comes with a concomitant and awesome responsibility. The rules that govern our conduct as attorneys are in place to ensure the fulfillment of that standard. Carry yourself with dignity and respect, both in and out of the courtroom. Be civil and courteous in your discourse. It truly is contagious. And above all, maintain your integrity, understanding the old adage that your word is your bond lives on. Always be prepared. That's a good reputation to develop. And above all things, don't neglect to pass forward your good fortune by providing pro bono service wherever possible. And not just with the new mandatory minimums, but whenever the dictates of justice requires a call to action. I assure you that your pro bono work that you will do will become some of the most satisfying of your professional career, if for no other reason than that you made a real difference, win or lose, in the life of a person in need. That service is nothing less than a blessing to both the giver and the recipient. Once again, on behalf of this honorable court, congratulations, good luck, and enjoy the balance of your day. This honorable court stands adjourned.
Thank you to the justices and Ms. Rojas. They will now log on off, and all of the new attorneys will stay on with me.